Hey guys, it's me, Carbundance, and thank you for being here for my first what I ate 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago, and what I ate today. I'm going to oppose these two to each other, so you can already see, like the drastic difference, and I'm just gonna give my thoughts about it. Everything is open. Just comment anything you want, any topics that you want me to go further into, because I make these videos for you and for you only, and they are made, I want them to be as helpful for you as possible and as enjoyable as possible, and so you decide and inspire me what I'm going, like how I'm going to make this video exactly. And I hope it's not too loud because I'm in a park, but I think it's a really nice, it's enjoyable, much more enjoyable for me to do it here. But let me know any suggestions or any desires you guys might have, or requests. That's what you say. So thank you first of all for your very, very respectful comments. It is just so great. So let's just start, because otherwise it's going to be very, very, very long. You can see here, 1 year ago I was at a friend's house, and you know that back then I was already very much into, introducing processed foods again, because I just felt that something has to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And I felt that I am kidding myself, bullshitting myself, which is, by the way, what I'm going to also point out in all these videos. It's not to show like, oh, you guys, please look how much I can eat now, or what else I can eat now. But it's not about the quantities or anything that I'm eating. I'm also not going to show any numbers, but to show you the development and how far I've come, and how to inspire you and to show you that you can eat all of the things that diet culture and everyone says are so bad for you, supposedly. And I am just going to give my thoughts on that as well, because, looking back, I could also just show you the things, could have shown you these things 1 year ago, and look how like what I eat, and it's processed and no restriction and stuff. But truth is, it still was restriction, because I could not just eat what I wanted all of the time, any time of the day, without, I always had to there was always some kind of control involved in what I was eating and how I was eating, and that it's not possible in any other way when you are bound to eating vegan, no matter where you are and who you eat with and stuff. And for my husband, for example, it's no problem at all. There's no second thought or anything. For me, it always meant that I was not free around anything, like always trying to be, how to say, I was always kind of thinking of what else I actually wanted to eat when I was with other people or stuff, or I had to call someone before. It's actually not the topic right now that I want to go into, but what I'm trying to say is that I want to call out myself on my own bullshit, what I thought back then and what I'm thinking about it now. And so you see this coffee here, that was a big thing for me already. Like, it's liquid calories. Second, it's prepared by someone else. I had no I had no control in how it was exactly being made. There was probably sugar in it. Also, it's a cappuccino, and also it probably, I can't remember exactly right now, but it probably was a real coffee, like with real caffeine. It's getting cold right now. And for me, you guys know that I used to be super sensitive to caffeine or theobromine or whatever, and I really was, and I am not really anymore, and I will, if you are interested in it, let me know, go into that, because I have some theories why that could be, but it really just blew my mind. You are just going to see this drone though. I'm being filmed while I'm filming, haha. Over the year, you're going to see that the first half of the year, roughly, I'm still, experimenting in the vegan realm, because the last thing I wanted was to give up being vegan. There was so much shame in my heart about it, and just so much sadness, and just so much, I couldn't handle that thought. And so the second half of the year you're going to see was when I started going out of the vegan realm, and for various reasons, and I will also go into these. Any questions you have, you can always ask me. The thing is, Sonja Meyerhofer, you actually, hey, thanks for your comment. You actually wrote that now that is the start of my recovery and all-in journey, how people call it online. And yes and no, like I'm not finished, but I'm also not at the start. Like I have my extreme hunger phase behind me already, like the very radical extreme phase of where you just stuff yourself. You when you eat without restriction, you just really eat a tons and tons. I'm out of that already. Like I don't have the binging feeling anymore, and I think it was quite short because I was actually eating a lot of calories before already, but still I had some calorie deficit to make up for, of course, like because 18 years, it's like yes. And well, I just wanted to say I was on my way there already, but very far away from where I am now. And so yeah, coffee was a big thing for me then, and I never drank coffee because of caffeine. Like I really can live without caffeine. I don't even care at all. Most of the time now even I'm drinking caffeine free because I don't even care. Like I could, but I don't have to. But I just love the taste of coffee, and my husband is also a hobby barista, coffee maker, and we really have quality coffee without all of the chemicals and stuff. And different topic, but the thing is, what I want to say is I just love being able to have coffee again. And that for me was such a big deal to drink it, and compared to now it's not as much of a big deal anymore. So the breakfast there was also special for me because, believe it or not, when I was at home, which I wasn't here because I was at a friend's house, when I was at home I usually weighed my oats, because I never ever wanted to eat too little again. I always made a point in reaching the minimum of calories. I'm not going to talk about numbers here, but I also had this fear of there could be something that something called too much. Like it could be there was, and it took a long time for me to realize that I was frankly afraid of gaining weight. Like the fear of weight gain is beneath it all and behind it all why we cannot just eat without any restriction. And that is also why many people go to veganism, because it helps them to feel fuller and to manipulate their hunger cues and manipulate they feel more in control of, they think that they need the volume, or they like the thought or the idea of having the volume to keep them full and stuff. And that I made the experience really that your body doesn't need the volume. It's not only the volume receptors. Your body is very well able to tell you that you are satisfied without the volume. so much, but it's a topic for itself. But that day, you know, it was not weight, but it was measured with a cup. I remember that vividly because, you know, I had to keep some kind of control in it, kind of. And then there's also chia seeds and dates and, you know, cereal on top. So I was experimenting with processed foods, and then also you know, the juice. And it's so funny because, oh sorry, I'm so cold. It's so funny because when I was at a friend's house, I remember thinking, wow, and it must be so normal for her to do that, and she doesn't even know that I struggle so much with this, and this is so special for me. And I was just, you know, tasting that life of being flexible and myself and just free around food and just not restricting yourself. And of course this is still very much restricted, to be honest, like that is the full truth, but it was, you know, some of the first steps. And it really, you know, every time I made a step further, I came to the realization, like, wow, how much must there be? And I just realized the difference to how I lived when I thought I was free to how it really is to be free. Yeah, so that was special for me. Also with plant milk, that was. And then we were back home, and it was New Year's, you know, and already late. And this is a very untypical day that I ate. It is so cold. Sorry, I'm going to have to keep going. Take a jacket next time. So this was an experiment of banana ice cream because we had a new Vitamix after Christmas, and you know, this is with protein, plant protein from Viva Life, the hyped protein Viva Life. And the thing is, I did that because I was inspired by some French influencer. I'm not going to name her here. Well, I don't know. I mean, why not? I'm really not going to say anything bad about it. But for me, I just noticed that her program of being balanced, you know, where she also encourages to challenge your fear foods, which is fair enough. But her work is very much around, and her recovery journey is also very much still, you know, 100% vegan, but, you know, with a lot of fats and stuff, and also no fear of processed foods. But she kind of, in my opinion, what I have found out for myself so far, like, it's been a long way for me to kind of admit that for myself also, but I just realized that so many influencers, and she is one of them, trade one of their obsessions, you know, the obsession of being skinny, for a new obsession, which is the obsession, which is very, very blatantly, like, blatant all around the internet, which is building muscle and being curvy and building the booty and making gains and, you know, strong, curvy women, which, I mean, is great and stuff, but it's just, I see it very problematic for people who are recovering from an eating disorder, because the underlying issue is the fear of weight gain and not being able to trust the body. And if you think that you have to eat, you know, build muscle and eat protein in order to not gain fat but muscle, then that is a problem, because you are not going to rewire that fear. And I myself went on a very radical journey. I am not exercising at all anymore. And I will go into a lot of work of Tabitha Farah. Also, if you are not following her, follow her. You probably do know her. But Tabitha Farah, she literally changed a lot in my life in the past year. And once I opened myself to what she had to say. I'm also translating her book into German right now. And the Recover, Rehabilitate and Rewire book. And we might very well be cooperating and collaborating in some stuff and projects, and we will see. Yes, but so my banana ice cream was with protein. which of course I know in most of the vegan store you don't need extra protein. I just wanted to experiment with stuff, and so that was just what I came up with in my head, what I remembered right now. I'm going to go faster now. So this was an untypical day. For dinner I had fried tofu, which my husband made, and this is not all the tofu I had. I will show you everything I ate in a year, but not every little bite, or like not the amount. It's not like I'm not doing this to show you how much to eat or how much I can eat or whatever, but to give you a rough idea and to help you take the courage to go and make steps yourself. That is my goal. And so that was dinner there, and which was quite frankly a very I was very afraid of that dinner, because I was craving the fried tofu, and it's with oil, but also tofu itself is already fatty and protein, no carbs, and so I challenged that, and that was the thing then. So coming to today, I actually started off the day not unrestricted, but that was the thing is, I shut myself out of it immediately, instantly. But the big thing is, I was struggling around the time between the years so much with the thought of not being able to be vegan. I thought, well, for the first week of the year, I will just really have to give it a try again, to just be high carb and super many calories, and without exercising, because I used to have a high carb phase when I was overtraining very much, and I just thought there must be a way for me to be vegan, because I just didn't want to not be vegan. And I have been vegan, not been vegan for for half a year before that, but there was just something, I felt such a shame around that. And so that was why I made this breakfast, but it's not going to continue like that, so don't worry. So this was a banana smoothie, and yes, I weighed the bananas because I had to make sure I get in enough calories. But yeah, we don't want the scales in our lives. We don't want to have to measure everything and stuff. Let's just stop that crap. But the thing is, with whole foods and high carb, I always needed that in order to eat enough calories, because I couldn't just trust my body, because I would, I was always so full. And that's also what I loved, what the eating disorder was loved, because you're full, you're really not craving any other things, and that really is the case. But the thing is, you're always just so dependent on your volume receptors, and you cannot just, I don't know, I'm not really able to eat intuitive and to not think about food when I eat that way, because, and you have to ask yourself if it's the same for you, because I had to also, it was a long way for me to get there and to realize that you have to plan your meals. I kind of really actually had to plan my days so I can get in enough food, and that's not life. Let's be frank, that's not life. If you have to do that, you should be able to also go out and live your life, which has nothing to do with anything you eat, and then eat later and eat a lot of calorie dense stuff and processed stuff if you're hungry then, because you couldn't eat for 4 hours or something. That should be possible, and it should be possible to be able to go without thinking about how am I going to make sure that I eat enough, and it's just my 2 cents here. So yeah, but it's super delicious. I still love all the fruits. I just love fruits. And you do really not crave anything else then. But the thing is, it is restriction, because then it is required to be have an eye on your fat intake, and you have to make sure you're eating enough, and when you go somewhere else and you don't have your banana box with you, then you know it's just, you cannot just live. It's no matter how you say it, you cannot just live. Not in the world where you live, where you just want to get your mind off of food. Well, that's a topic for another video. I had that super yummy. Ooh, I'm freezing. And my husband, when I came back, he had, you know, I had recorded the video from yesterday, but I was outside and I really wanted to get that uploaded. And so my husband had made this vegan, actually, chili baguette with how do you call it, you know, with oil in there, but it's vegan actually. And I tried one piece of his and I said, I want this one too, and so he made it for me. That was really nice, and I was so satisfied. And just that you're satisfied on such a different level when you're eating processed food. It's just really amazing, different. Let me know if you want me to talk about this. I wanted the Mars bar, which I actually had with me on the, like, when I was recording, and I actually wanted to eat it, but I just totally forgot about it, which would never have happened to me a year ago. That's like, I would never forget about anything, like just by accident. That would not happen. I couldn't imagine that would be, if you had told me that 1 year ago, I would have said no way. And you know, I was surely able of saying, well, oh, I forgot, but like the real truth was that I just wanted to have an excuse why I didn't eat that, you know. There was also always this kind of desire to have proper meals and no snacks and stuff, and to kind of have always be a little bit in control, and always being able to estimate roughly what intake I had that day. And I am freezing. I have to come to an end. So I used to be, this 1 year ago would have freaked me out like crazy, like, even though it was vegan. It's still not the easiest thing in the world for me today, but it's a huge difference. And so this day, because I, you know, got up so late, it was very short kind of, and I was really full after that, and we went to sleep. And I knew it was not as much as I usually eat, but I ate as much as I wanted, totally unrestricted, except for the breakfast. But so no, the thing is, I knew, well, I'm just going to wake up, as I know from experience, when I haven't eaten enough, and that was also what was happening. And I ate these vanilla pudding, kind of baked goods, pastries, which are super yummy. The plastic is nasty, but super yummy. And I had 3, and I actually couldn't fall asleep without eating these. I'm going to end it here for today because I'm freezing, and it's also very long already. Let me know if you like this format, or if you'd like me to go about the things a little bit differently. I'm open for everything, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.